from Southwest Florida's news leader. This is Wake News, now at 7.
At 7 o'clock, dishonoring U.S. troops, the names of dead heroes used to scam people out of money.
Your tax dollars paying to study a monkey's reaction to cocaine or buying new windows for a closed visitors center. Tonight, tracking how your money is spent.
And a Florida girl lucky to have her hand tonight after a violent encounter with a barracuda while snorkeling. Her story right now at 7. First, though, we're tracking some serious storms.
Let's check in with meteorologist Scott Zediker.
Thank you, Lois and Chris. Yeah, big line of thunderstorms now developing right over Charlotte Harbor, pushing into northwestern portions of the Cape. This storm line kind of developed here in the last half an hour or so, kind of hitting that Gulf breeze and exploding all the way from Northport through Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, now moving all the way into Cape Coral. You folks in Bonita Springs and Naples, down in Collier County, your rain has ended now, pushed out into the Gulf of Mexico. But this is the thunderstorm complex we're going to keep a close eye on. Look at all of those lightning strikes right over Charlotte Harbor. This complex of showers and storms keeps pressing off to the west. So look out the islands of Lee County as well as the Cape Hayes Peninsula. You have a pretty big thunderstorm on the way to you folks here in the next probably half an hour or so. And you folks in western Cape Coral, you are seeing that heavy rain right over Matlacha, moving over Pine Island Center as well as over Sanibel. When I come back, we'll retrack these, and we're going to talk about that weakening tropical storm Colin.
All right, Scott, thanks. Wake News is following several developing stories at 7 o'clock. First, permanently plugging the Gulf Coast leak. Engineers now pumping mud into that blown out well.
Also developing right now, an apartment fire in the Cape. One man pulled from the flames.
And a man goes on a shooting rampage, killing 8 people and himself. Happening now, 2 other victims recovering in the hospital.
But we begin within the past 3 hours, engineers started that static kill. The idea is to pump the heavy drilling mud into the blown out well. This is expected to be the best chance to reach the ultimate goal of permanently capping the world's largest spill. We should know in a matter of hours if this is going according to plan.
Another developing story at 7, a man pulled from his home in Cape Coral after his apartment catches fire.
5 feet inside the door, the smoke was about this far off the floor, and he was laying on the floor with one elbow up with the phone in his hand. He's going, I got to dial 911. I go, Chris, I got to get you out of here.
Firefighters say the fire started in the bedroom of a second-floor apartment on Viceroy Street. A neighbor was able to rescue the man inside. He was taken to the hospital. We don't know how he's doing at this point. And although 4 apartments here were damaged, this fire is being called an accident.
And a mass shooting at a plant in Connecticut. A warehouse driver caught on tape stealing beer goes on a rampage, killing 8 people before turning the gun on himself. The gunman had reportedly complained of racial harassment. He told his daughter that supervisors never responded to those complaints. Omar Thornton opened fire, then called his mom to say goodbye before he killed himself.
Other top stories we're following tonight at 7. We're uncovering new details about the tragic death of a Fort Myers toddler tonight. Michelle Freiberger was in court today. She's accused of leaving a loaded gun in her nightstand. Her 2-year-old grandson, Ian, found the gun and accidentally shot himself in the head. DCF wrapped up its investigation and found the boy's parents never knew Freiberger owned a gun. Freiberger will head back to court in September.
Happening now, a car is underwater in a Golden Gate Canal. It's off Everglades Boulevard near 36th Avenue Southeast. Wake News has confirmed there was nobody inside the white Toyota Camry. Neighbors tell us the car was not there yesterday. The sheriff's office is still investigating. No word on when they might pull that car out.
A dog is dead after being locked up and left in a car for 2 hours. The Shih Tzu Poodle mix was found trapped in this Nissan Maxima outside of Health Park Medical Center today. Animal Services say by the time they were called, the dog was already dead.
Attempted to resuscitate the dog, but it was too late. The dog's temperature registered 115 degrees.
The owner of the dog is now facing animal cruelty charges.
Stealing from the elderly, thieves target a Punta Gorda retirement home. Employees at Sandhill Gardens retirement home discovered that a safe holding residents' cash and jewelry was stolen. The alarm had been disabled and employees are unsure how the crook got inside. While they don't suspect that it's an inside job, they are questioning current and past employees.
Oh, that's terrible. After all, we're all older people here. And not all of us are out of it, so to speak.
The retirement home has since reimbursed residents for what was stolen. They've also beefed up security to deter any future criminals from striking again.
A Lehigh Acres family goes on a wild ride to chase down thieves. Crooks made off with car parts in a trailer from their yard, so the entire family followed the suspected thieves home, all the way from Lehigh to Alva, on the phone with 911 the entire time.
He got out of the car and told the guy, he said, "That's my trailer." And of course the guy denied it, said he bought it from somebody for 25 bucks. And Zach said, I just don't believe you.
Deputies were on the scene within minutes and arrested 4 people. Behind the house, deputies found the missing tires, and the trailer was still hooked up to the thieves' truck. Brand new at 7 tonight, here's something that may surprise you. The Cadillac Escalade tops the list of most stolen vehicles. That's despite an anti-theft system that prevents it from being started without a special key. Thieves apparently get around that by putting the big SUV right on a flatbed truck. 1 in every 100 Escalades is reported stolen.
The city of Cape Coral is being sued by developers of the Sans Souci project. The high-rise condominiums were going to be built along Old Burnt Store Road, but the Cape Coral City Council voted no on the project. Developers say they are out millions of dollars and their rights were violated because they weren't given due process. Not only that, a spokesman for the developers says residents, quote, poisoned the council with lies.
These people lobbied continuously, in some instances lied. You had people ostensibly standing up, giving testimony that they were experts in which they weren't.
Lawyers for Sans Souci say some residents and community associations may also eventually be named in the lawsuit. A deal to bring new power lines to the Cape could soon be put on hold. The Community Redevelopment Agency is talking about a possible change to a deal between the city and LCEC over lines that are set to be put underground on Southeast 46th Lane. The CRA says aged water pipes on the street could mean construction delays and raise the $4.5 million price tag. LCEC insists everyone knew the problems existed when the deal was agreed to in April. The City Council will have a final say whether the deal will have to be scrapped. A scam so dishonorable it's hard to believe, but it's happening. People are posing as soldiers on dating websites and stealing from unsuspecting victims. Plus,
what's the price we have paid for future generations of Americans? A $1.1 trillion additional debt.
Sounding off, Senator John McCain and other Republicans upset over the president's stimulus spending plan. Tonight on Wink News at 7, your tax dollars paying to study things like an ant colony in Africa. That's next.
Boy, I am tracking some big storms from the Cape Hayes Peninsula all the way to the Lee County Islands, all pushing out to the Gulf of Mexico. Look at all of that lightning, heavy rain, and gusty wind. When I come back, we'll track this, and of course, we'll talk about the latest on Tropical Storm Colin.